Late at night, fire sirens echoed through the financial district. A building was burning. Flames shot through broken windows. People ran screaming into the streets. But one man in a worn safety vest ran toward the fire. "Is anyone still inside?" he shouted. A weak voice called back, "Help! I'm stuck! Please!" He smashed through the door. Smoke everywhere. He found a woman collapsed on the floor. As he lifted her into his arms and carried her outside, the streetlights hit her face. He froze. "You?" It was her, the woman who fired him 6 months ago. 6 months earlier, Jack Rowan stood in the CEO's office. 40 years old, single father, 12 years as a maintenance engineer, and today was his last day. Victoria Hale sat behind her glass desk, ice cold, 34, the youngest CEO in the company's history. "Mr. Rowan, the system failure last month cost us $3 million. Someone has to be accountable." Jack's hands trembled. "Ma'am, I filed 5 reports about that equipment. I warned them it would fail. I have the emails." She didn't blink. "The failure happened on your watch. That's what matters." "I have a daughter. Please, I need this job." Victoria stood up. "This company needs integrity, not excuses. Security will escort you out." The entire office watched as Jack was walked out. His badge, his toolbox, his dignity, all taken in front of everyone. No one said a word. No one stood up for him. He drove home in silence. His daughter Lila was waiting, 9 years old, bright eyes, always asked about his day. "Daddy, how was work?" Jack smiled, forced it. "Good, sweetheart, really good." He couldn't tell her the truth. Not yet. That night after Lila fell asleep, Jack sat at the kitchen table. Bills piled high. Rent due in 2 weeks. His savings would last maybe 60 days. He pulled out his old employee badge, looked at his photo. The man in that picture had a career, had respect, had a future. Now, he had nothing, but he had Lila, and she believed her father was a good man, a hero. He couldn't let her down. The next morning, Jack started looking for work. Any work. Construction, delivery, night shifts, whatever paid. He took a job delivering packages, $10 an hour, night shifts, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. It was enough to keep the lights on, barely. Every night Jack drove through the city, past his old building, the place where he gave 12 years of his life, where Victoria Hale sat in her corner office, where no one remembered his name. But Jack wasn't bitter. He was tired. He was struggling. But he wasn't bitter, because Lila still looked at him like he was Superman, and that was worth more than any paycheck. "Daddy, are you okay?" she asked one morning. "I'm perfect, baby, as long as I have you." She hugged him tight. "You're the best daddy in the world." Jack held her close, fought back tears. "And you're my whole world." He didn't know it then, but in 6 months everything would change. One night, one fire, one choice. The kind of choice that shows who you really are. When no one's watching, when there's nothing to gain, when the person you're saving is the one who destroyed you. Jack kept that old employee badge in his wallet, not because he missed the job, but because it reminded him of something important. Your job can be taken. Your money can disappear. Your reputation can be destroyed. But your character? That's yours forever. And no CEO, no company, no failure can take that away unless you let them. Jack wouldn't let them. 6 months later, tonight, Jack's delivery route took him through the financial district, past his old building, the one with Victoria Hale's name on the directory. He didn't look up anymore, didn't think about it, just drove. Then he saw the smoke, black clouds pouring from the 7th floor, flames licking through windows, people running, screaming, chaos everywhere. Jack pulled over, grabbed his phone, called 911. "Fire at Sterling Tower, 7th floor. Send everyone." The operator responded, "Sir, stay back. Firefighters are on the way." Jack hung up, started walking toward his truck. Then he heard it, a scream, faint, desperate, from inside. "Help! Someone help me! Every instinct told him to walk away. Not his problem, not his building anymore, not his responsibility, but that voice, that terrified voice. Someone's daughter was in there, someone's mother, someone's sister. Jack looked at his truck, thought of Lila sleeping at home. Safe, warm. Then he ran toward the fire. Sir, you can't go in there. A security guard tried to stop him. Jack pushed past. Someone's still inside. The lobby was filled with smoke. Heat slammed into him like a wall. His eyes burned. His lungs screamed. But he kept moving. The elevator was dead. He found the stairs and started climbing. 3rd floor, 4th floor, 5th floor. The smoke got thicker, darker. He pulled his shirt over his mouth, kept climbing. 6th floor, 7th floor. The door to the executive level was jammed. Jack kicked it. Once, twice, 3 times. It flew open, flames everywhere. The ceiling was starting to collapse. Desks on fire, papers swirling in the heat. Hello? Where are you? Coughing, weak coughing, to his left. Jack moved through the smoke, past burning furniture, past melting computers, past photographs of smiling executives who were safe at home. Then he saw her, Victoria Hale, on the floor, her leg trapped under a steel beam, blood on her forehead, face covered in soot. She looked up at him, eyes wide with pain and fear. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Recognition flashed across her face. You worked for me. Jack's jaw tightened. I did. She started crying. Why? Why would you come back? You should hate me. You should let me burn. Jack grabbed the beam, started pulling. It wouldn't move. My daughter thinks I'm a good man, he said through gritted teeth. I can't let her be wrong. He pulled harder. The beam shifted. Victoria screamed. It's crushing my leg. I can't feel it. I can't. Stop talking. Save your breath. Jack braced his feet, used every ounce of strength. The beam lifted, inch by inch. Now! Pull your leg out! Now! Victoria dragged herself free, collapsed. Jack dropped the beam. It crashed down where her leg had been. He lifted her into his arms. She was light, too light. Shock was setting in. Stay with me. Look at me. What's your name? Victoria. Victoria Hale. I know who you are, Victoria. I need you to stay awake. Talk to me. They moved toward the stairs. Behind them, the ceiling groaned. Cracked, started to fall. Jack ran. The stairs were collapsing, flames shooting up from below. He took them 2 at a time, Victoria's head against his chest. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve what I did. Save it. We're not dying tonight. 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. The building shook, an explosion somewhere above. The fire had reached something big. We're not going to make it, Victoria said. Yes, we are. Ground floor, the lobby, the front doors visible through the smoke. Jack kicked through them, into the street. Fresh air, sirens, lights, firefighters everywhere. He laid Victoria on the ground. Paramedics rushed over. She's got a crushed leg, possible head injury. Get her to a hospital. Jack turned to walk away, but his legs gave out. He collapsed. The smoke, the heat, the exhaustion, it all hit at once. He heard voices, shouting, hands lifting him. We've got another one. He went in and pulled her out. Sir, can you hear me? Sir. Jack's vision blurred. He saw Victoria being loaded into an ambulance. She was looking at him, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, she mouthed. Then everything went black. The last thing Jack thought about was Lila, his little girl, waiting for him at home. He hoped she'd still be proud of him, even after saving the woman who destroyed their lives. Because that's what heroes do. They save people, even when those people don't deserve it. Behind them, Sterling Tower collapsed. 7 floors of concrete and steel, crashing down in a cloud of dust and fire. If Jack had been 30 seconds slower, if he'd hesitated, if he'd let anger win, they'd both be dead. But he didn't hesitate, because Jack Rowan wasn't defined by what was done to him. He was defined by what he chose to do. And tonight he chose mercy. Would you save the person who ruined your life? Jack woke up in a hospital bed. White walls, beeping machines, the smell of antiseptic. His throat felt like sandpaper. His lungs burned with every breath. A nurse walked in, smiled. "You're awake. You're a very lucky man, Mr. Rowan." "How long was I out?" 8 hours. "You had severe smoke inhalation, but you'll be fine. You're a hero." Jack shook his head. "I'm not a hero. I just did what anyone would do." The nurse turned on the television. "That's not what they're saying." The news was on. Breaking coverage. Aerial shots of the collapsed Sterling Tower. Reporters everywhere. Then his face appeared on screen. "Unknown hero saves CEO from burning building." Jack's stomach dropped. "Turn it off. The mysterious man who risked his life has not been identified. CEO Victoria Hale is in stable condition and asking to speak with her rescuer." The nurse looked at him. "That's you, isn't it?" Jack didn't answer. He pulled out his IV, started getting dressed. "Sir, you need to rest. The doctor hasn't cleared you." "I have a daughter at home. I need to go." He left before anyone could stop him. Outside, reporters were camped everywhere. Jack pulled his hood up, kept his head down, slipped past them. He took a bus home, paid cash, didn't want anyone tracking him. When he opened his apartment door, Lila ran to him. Mrs. Chen, the neighbor who watched her, stood behind. "Daddy, I was so worried. Mrs. Chen said you were working late." Jack hugged her tight. "I'm okay, baby. I'm okay." Mrs. Chen looked at him closely, saw the soot still in his hair, the redness in his eyes. "Jack, what happened?" "Nothing. Just a long night." After Mrs. Chen left, Lila climbed into Jack's lap. "Daddy, you smell like smoke." "I was near a fire, but I'm fine." "Did you help anyone?" Jack hesitated. "Yeah, I did." Lila smiled. "That's why you're my hero." Jack held her close, tried not to cry. The next morning, someone knocked on the door. Jack looked through the peephole. Froze. Victoria Hale, standing in his hallway, arm in a sling, leg in a brace, but standing. He opened the door slowly. "What are you doing here?" "I found you. I had to thank you properly." "You don't owe me anything. Please leave." Victoria held out an envelope. "This is a check, $500,000, for saving my life." Jack didn't take it. "I don't want your money." "Then what do you want?" "Nothing. I want nothing from you." Victoria's eyes filled with tears. "You should hate me. You should have let me die." "Maybe, but that's not who I am." She stepped closer. "The fire. The investigators finished their report this morning. Do you want to know what caused it?" Jack said nothing. "Faulty electrical equipment. The same system that failed 6 months ago. The same system you warned us about. The same system I fired you over." Jack's jaw tightened. Victoria continued, her voice breaking. "It was never your fault. It was mine. My pride. My refusal to listen. I blamed you because it was easier than admitting I was wrong." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you deserve the truth, and because I need to make this right." Jack looked at her, really looked at her. She wasn't the ice-cold CEO anymore. She was broken, human, scared. "Money won't fix what you broke," Jack said quietly. "I know, but maybe this will." Victoria pulled out her phone, opened a live stream, aimed it at herself. "What are you doing?" "What I should have done 6 months ago." She went live. Within seconds, thousands of people were watching. Employees, investors, media, everyone. Victoria looked directly into the camera. "My name is Victoria Hale. 6 months ago, I fired a man named Jack Rowan. I blamed him for a system failure that cost our company millions. I humiliated him in front of everyone. I took his livelihood, his dignity, his future." Jack's heart pounded. "Victoria, stop!" She kept going. 3 nights ago, the same system failed again. It caused a fire. I was trapped. I was going to die." Her voice cracked. "And the man I destroyed, the man I blamed, the man whose life I ruined, he ran into that fire and saved me." The comments exploded. Thousands of messages, flooding in. Jack Rowan lost his job because of my pride, but he saved my life because of his character. Victoria turned the camera to Jack. He stood frozen in his doorway, the whole world watching. This is the man who should be running companies, not me. This is the man who deserves respect. Recognition. Everything I took from him. Jack stepped back. Turn it off. Not until everyone knows the truth. Victoria looked back at the camera. I'm offering Jack his job back. Full back pay. A promotion. Whatever he wants. Jack spoke, his voice firm. I don't want my job back. The livestream audience gasped. Victoria looked shocked. What? Jack continued. Because if I came back, it would be charity, not justice. You'd feel better about yourself. But it wouldn't change what you did. Victoria lowered her phone, the stream still running. Then what do you want? Jack thought of Lila, of the nights working delivery, of the bills piled on his table, of the dignity he lost. I want you to change, really change, not just for me, for the next person you think about firing, the next person you think about blaming, the next person whose life you hold in your hands. He stepped closer. You want to make this right? Don't make me special. Make sure no one else goes through what I did. Victoria nodded, tears streaming. I promise. Jack looked at the camera, at the thousands watching. And to everyone watching, your job doesn't define you. Your boss doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do when no one's forcing you to do the right thing. He closed the door, left Victoria standing in the hallway, the stream still running. Inside, Lila was watching from her bedroom door. Daddy, was that the lady from TV? Jack knelt down. Yeah, baby, that was her. She seems sad. She is, but maybe she'll be better now. Lila hugged him. I'm glad you helped her, even if she was mean to you. Jack smiled. Me too, baby. Me too. Outside his door, Victoria ended the stream. 5 million views, 30,000 comments. The whole world had watched. She whispered to the closed door. Thank you, Jack, for showing me what a real hero looks like. Then she walked away. But this story wasn't over yet. The video went viral. Within 24 hours, Jack's story was everywhere. National news, international headlines, social media exploded. CEO admits she wrongfully fired hero who saved her life. The man who chose character over revenge. Single dad teaches billion-dollar CEO what real leadership looks like. Jack's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Interview requests, job offers, people wanting to thank him, people wanting to meet him. He ignored them all. But the world wouldn't let him hide. 3 days after the video, Jack was picking up Lila from school. Other parents stared, whispered, pointed. One mother approached. You're him. You're Jack Rowan. Jack nodded. Yeah. My husband works at Sterling. He said you were the best engineer they ever had. He said firing you was the biggest mistake the company ever made. Another parent joined. I saw the video. What you said about not letting jobs define us? My son needed to hear that. Thank you. More people gathered. Not to gawk, to thank him. You showed my daughter what real courage looks like. You reminded me that integrity still matters. You're the kind of man we need more of. Jack felt uncomfortable. He wasn't used to this. I just did what anyone should do. An older man stepped forward. No, you did what most people wouldn't. That's why you're special. Lila grabbed Jack's hand, smiled up at him. See, Daddy? Everyone knows you're a hero now. That weekend, Victoria came back. But this time she brought someone. A little girl, 7 years old, brown hair and pigtails, shy smile. Jack, this is my daughter, Emma. Jack looked surprised. I didn't know you had a daughter. Victoria smiled sadly. Most people don't. I kept her away from the media, away from my work life. I thought I was protecting her. Emma looked up at Jack. You saved my mommy. Jack knelt down. I did. Thank you. Emma hugged him, tight. Victoria's eyes filled with tears, real tears. She wanted to meet you, to say thank you herself. Lila came out of the apartment, saw Emma. Hi, I'm Lila. I'm Emma. The two girls smiled at each other. Instant connection. Victoria looked at Jack. I've been thinking about what you said, about real change. I've started implementing new safety protocols, anonymous reporting systems, third-party reviews before any termination. That's good. And I've personally apologized to 3 other employees I wrongly blamed over the years. 2 of them came back. 1 forgave me. 1 didn't. I deserve both responses. Jack nodded. Growth isn't comfortable. Victoria handed him an envelope, different from before. This isn't charity. It's a consulting contract. I want you to redesign our entire safety and ethics program. Set your own terms, work your own hours, but I need your expertise. Jack opened it. Read it. This is too much money. It's exactly what you're worth, what you were always worth. Jack looked at Lila and Emma playing together. 2 little girls, laughing, innocent, happy. Okay, but I have conditions. Anything. I work from home. I set my schedule around my daughter, and if I say something's unsafe, you listen, no exceptions. Victoria extended her hand. Deal. They shook, not as employee and boss, as equals. Emma called out, Mommy, can Lila come to my birthday party? Lila looked at Jack with hopeful eyes. Can I, Daddy? Please? Jack smiled. Of course, Victoria whispered. Thank you, Jack, for everything. Thank you for learning. As they left, Lila hugged Jack. I like Emma, and her mom seems nice now. People can change, baby, when they really want to. Like you taught her. Jack kissed her forehead. Like she taught herself. I just showed her it was possible. 1 year later, Jack stood outside the rebuilt Sterling Tower. Grand reopening, media everywhere, employees celebrating. He wore a suit now, nice one. He could afford it, but more importantly, he wore a badge. Chief Safety and Ethics Officer. Not because Victoria gave it to him, because he earned it. The company had changed, real change. Safety incidents down 70%, employee satisfaction up, turnover at record lows. And Jack had done that. Not with revenge, not with bitterness, but with excellence. Victoria stood at the podium, ready to give her speech. She saw Jack in the crowd, smiled. She began. 1 year ago, this building burned down. I almost died, but more importantly, I almost missed the chance to become the person I should have been all along. The crowd listened, silent, attentive. The man who saved my life taught me something. He taught me that integrity doesn't burn. It doesn't collapse. It doesn't fail under pressure. She pointed to Jack. Jack Rowan, the man I wronged, the man I blamed, the man who had every reason to hate me. He showed me that true strength isn't holding power over people. It's lifting people up, even when they've knocked you down. Applause, standing ovation. Jack stayed seated, humble. Victoria continued. Today, we don't just reopen a building. We reopen with new values, accountability, transparency, respect, and we have Jack to thank for that. After the ceremony, Jack walked to the memorial wall, names of all the employees who'd been wrongfully terminated over the years, including his own. Never again, he whispered. Lila ran up, 10 years old now, growing fast. Daddy, come on! Emma's waiting. Jack turned, saw Emma and Victoria by the cake, saw his co-workers, saw people who respected him, not because of what happened to him, but because of what he did with it. He thought back to that night, the fire, the smoke, the choice. Save her or let her burn, forgive or hold on to anger, move forward or stay stuck. He'd made the right choice, not the easy one, but the right one. As Jack walked toward his daughter, toward his new life, he thought about the man he used to be, the man who lost everything, the man who had nothing left. That man was still inside him, but he was stronger now, not because he got revenge, but because he chose mercy. Jack's voice came soft, almost a whisper, as if speaking to everyone who'd ever been wronged, ever been fired, ever been blamed. Sometimes the people who burned your name will need your hand to survive their own fire. Forgive them, Not for them, but for the child who calls you hero. The sun set behind the tower. The lights came on. Bright, beautiful, new. Jack smiled, picked up Lila, walked toward tomorrow, a better tomorrow, built not on revenge, but on redemption. Subscribe if you believe true strength is doing what's right, even when no one deserves it.